Let's ask the government to do the right thing. And I'm sure that if we tell the president what to do, he will do it. He will do it. So let us stand up and say that we are just approving a borrowing about 2.2 billion to fund the budget. What budget?
Dear Nigerians, are you aware that Nigeria is currently sinking very, very fast under this demonic, satanic, and devilish party that is currently in power, APC? Did you know that Nigeria was sometime debt-free under PDP government, under Obasanjo? Through the help of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Nigeria was debt-free. But as I speak to you Nigerians, under APC, under Tinubu, Nigeria currently now rank the number 3 most indebted nation in the world, the number 3 most indebted country in the world. This is a country that is richer than America. This is a country that is richer than the whole Europe put together, with the mineral resources God has blessed us with. All right. To make matter worse, the empty brain we have there as a president that rigged himself into power, Pablo Escobar T-Pain, the drug baron. The guys, I speak to you, he has just, is about, borrowing another over 1.77 trillion dollar. Okay, 1.7. I'm not sure if it's dollar now or naira. No, yeah, he's about borrowing it now. Senator just approved it, but what gladdens my heart here is this: one of his party member, APC senator by the name Ali Nidume, representing Borno, he stood up. In fact, it was a chaos at the Senate floor. I want you to take a look at this. And former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has also sent a stern warning message to Mr. T-Pain. As you watch this video, please, Nigerians, ensure you share it in all your platforms. The world has got to see what is going on. You understand? Every Nigerian deserves to see this. Are you aware they are indebting, putting your child, your born children into debt because they hijack power? They are using the future of our children to enjoy their lavish lifestyle today. Please like this video so that Facebook and YouTube can recommend. Please share. And in case today is your first time coming across my video, I want to say a big thank you to you for stopping by. This Holy Ghost on platform, a platform that tell you undiluted truth. The Lord bless you.
Nigerian Senate on Thursday approved President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's 1.77 trillion naira loan request to help finance the country's 9.7 trillion naira budget deficit for 2024. The loan is said to be part of a fresh external borrowing plan as outlined in the 2024 Appropriation Act. The approval has since sparked mixed reactions, with some expressing concerns about Nigeria's growing debt, including Senator representing Borno South, Ali Nidume, who on Thursday urged his colleagues in the Senate to advise President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the dangers of borrowing with securing the country. Let's take a look.
Let's be blunt about it. Let's ask the government to do the right thing. And I'm sure that if we tell the president what to do, he will do it. He will do it. So let us stand up and say that we are just approving a borrowing about 2.2 billion to fund the budget. What budget if we are not secured? So, Mr. President, I'm sorry, I've taken much more time, but let us take this thing more serious.
All right, Rufai, there's been a lot of reactions towards this borrowing as well, and also some statements. But let me take Atiku Abubakar's tweet, who also reacted. He said that the recent report released by the World Bank showing Nigeria as the 3rd most indebted country to the International Development Association is very concerning. Nigeria is sinking further into debt, and the National Assembly has become an accomplice once more. In July this year, Tinubu boasted that the FIRS and customs under his watch had collected all-time high revenues to finance the budget. Why are we still borrowing? There is something that they are not telling Nigerians, even as they are being crushed by a combination of their failed trial and error policies and loan rackets. These Tinubu loans are bone-crushing to Nigerians and bringing insufferable pressure on the economy, especially when they are not properly negotiated and utilized. It is time to apply more caution and arithmetic to the loan frenzy. I think Atiku Abubakar's tweet there is quite apt.
And Atiku spoke very well.
Very, very well this time.
Wait, Oji.
I was
wait. Hang on a minute. Everybody, hang on a minute.
Go ahead.
TV President Tinubu says an accountant. Why has he not been able to fix the Madaru in the Nigerians' finance and accounting?
Madaru?
Yes. Because you see, we're taking a lot of debt. So our debt now, when he got it, was about 87 trillion. It's gone up to over 134 trillion. There's a deficit of 13 trillion. That's part of it they're taking this money for, to be able to show up the new budget. Plus, the ways and means on ground that he said we have cleared, which we have not cleared. The ways and means is about another 30 trillion. 30 trillion plus 134 trillion, that's about 160-something trillion. Plus all the other debts. We're inching close to 200 trillion. What size of our GDP? Debt to GDP ratio has already passed over 50%. I remember the time of Goodluck Jonathan, the conversation we're having then was debt to GDP ratio of about 26-27% was a problem. So we have outdone ourselves with debts. Oji, in all of this, if I'm seeing infrastructural development and I'm seeing what they do with the money, Oji, I'll be the first to come on here and praise President Tinubu. But what am I seeing? I tell you, budget padding. I'm seeing unscrupulous budgetary demands in schools around Oji River. Ningi was right, he didn't just have the data. When budgets did the analysis, they discovered that over 2 trillion was padded. Let's work with budget on this. And that's the way it is done. So my grouse is, a lot of this money is siphoned. You don't have fiscal discipline as regards the budget. Budget performance too is another topical issue. Then we have a lot of assets we can't afford. Tinubu Adebayo has advocated many times, you have a lot of JVs with the NNPC, just sell off your assets. Because in the end, your own share of running those assets, you don't pay them. Secondly, you've not been able to do forensic studies into the NNPC and what goes on there. There's no clarity there. Like I was talking, I knew what I was saying when I was commenting the report there. There's a 10 billion NNPC said is spent on charity. If they can spend 5 billion on that, at least we'll know they are title sponsors of the league. Because if StarTimes collected 1 billion, use 1 billion to be title sponsors of our league, NNPC spent 10 billion on some charity that we don't know about. So what do we now do? At first, we need budget integrity. Now, that's why, please, I beg every Nigerian out there, once the line item of the next budget is released, please, I know it takes thousands of pages, let's scrutinize line for line. We can't leave this work for budget alone to do. Secondly, it's the philosophy of what I call Sebo Timwelewa Ashakmo. Spend according to what you have. At this point in time, because incurring deficits that we don't see, stop all these frivolous projects. I would have thought, and I repeat again, that 15 trillion should have been better spent on fixing most of the roads in the country rather than going to start a new coastal road. And those are the problems we have on ground. So Atiku was very apt. We need common sense. Again, I repeat, the president is an accountant.
You're right. Dr. Bati, your thoughts? I know a lot of people have talked about whether or not Atiku should be commenting. Even Bode George recently
on the issue of the budget and borrowing. Atiku was complaining about borrowing. Now, I hope nobody will come forward and start abusing Atiku Abubakar and saying, oh, he should not have spoken. Because the key point that he made was that under the Obasanjo administration, there was even debt forgiveness. And he said a few years later, I don't know what he meant by few, because Obasanjo left government along with him in 2007, that Nigeria now finds itself in this difficult situation where it is now so heavily indebted. But whatever his position may be, and he's also saying the National Assembly is an accomplice in this borrowing spree. You also recall that Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party always says, look, we should focus on production rather than consumption. He says he's not opposed to borrowing, but that the borrowing should be used for productive purposes rather than consumption. So you can't shut up the opposition. the opposition will always say something.
All right.
We're running a presidential system, but I don't think Atiku should be asked to shut up because he has expressed an opinion, because that's the default response from the government. And however, to balance it, Atiku Abubakar may say, don't borrow. National Assembly, you are an accomplice. You are giving us more opportunities to borrow. There are some people, some NGOs. One NGO that is called Center for Equality and Justice, one Theodore, I think that's the name of the guy. He said, in fact, we should borrow more, that the borrowing will boost economic growth, and that the National Assembly should support the president. Right. So two views here. Atiku is a citizen, Mr. Theodore is a citizen. What we can say is the point that even if we borrow, if we have the wiggle room to borrow more, it should be for productivity, not consumption.
Yeah.
I think yesterday you brought that phrase from Mr. Peter Obi.
From Peter Obi, that Donye Okupe was saying that there was no actual document, and Rufai here deflated his tire, bringing out the actual document. But I asked you a question about Bode George. You know that he had made a statement saying that Atiku should not bother contest. I mean, he's a PDP chieftain. He's saying that Atiku will be 81 by the time he contests, and he should just forget about contesting in the 2027 election. Just your quick thought on that comment.
Quick comment. The PDP at the moment is facing trials. It's in crisis. The party has been disturbed since it lost the 2015 election. And part of the problem that the party has is finding a way forward. Now, Chief Olabode George is not just a chieftain of the party, he's a founding father of the party. And he's telling Waziri Adamawa that, look, at 81, you don't need to run for position again. Join us in the position of elder statesman of the party. However, the prerogative is that of Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar to decide whether at 81 he still wants to continue to chase something he has been chasing since 1993. It is also for the party to take a decision. But there are many members of the People's Democratic Party that Atiku's ambition is disturbing the party. They say they need young blood. They say they need some other options. But the party needs to put his house in order first.
Well said.
So Chief Olabode George may well be considered one of the persons offering advice in the party. There are persons who will also say that Chief Olabode George was a member of the G5 and he's a wicked man. Well, maybe he will not agree to that. That he's a wicked supporter on the issues. He will say he's defending principles and that he may be accused of having brought the party to this sorry pass.
Politics. Rufai says he's never going to be a politician. Well, let's take another story.
Never say never.
Well, we'll never know. He can't deal with it. He can't deal with it. Don't worry about it.
You go and be councillor or chairman.
Well, all right. We'll take another